every Republican and Democratic member of Congress, most of us agree on this. Pass the bill and send it to me. If we do, it's going to help bring down prices, bring home jobs, and power America's manufacturing comeback.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and President Joe Biden making big announcements yesterday, and we're hearing that there are more to come. This is your stimulus check update, stimulus package update, breaking news update. Now we're hearing announcements and bills being signed. Take a look at these headlines coming out, you guys. Biden administration announces an expansion of free high-speed internet to eligible U.S. households. We're hearing there's going to be new free internet. I'm going to be sharing with you exactly what they're saying and where it's coming from on the official website from the White House. Low-wage earners to get high-speed internet for $30 in Biden's new program. And here it is, you guys, the White House's official website. I'm going to give you all the details in this video. Now, in addition to that, people are waiting to see what about child tax credits, gas stimulus checks, an assortment of different provisions. And we're waiting to see if there's going to be executive orders and executive actions if they can't get legislation through. Now, we will see, but also take a look at this. More announcements coming out yesterday. Biden signs a bill to expedite military aid to Ukraine. However, President Biden says that he is worried that Putin does not have a way out of this war with Ukraine. And I'm going to be sharing with you video footage as yesterday they had their V-Day victory parade in Russia, and we're hearing that they are ramping up for years worth of war against Ukraine. They are preparing. I'm going to share with you the video footage, which would mean that this is going to be applying stress to inflation and our supply chain issues and everything that's happening with increased prices, which is going to mean that we're going to see how Congress is going to be responding to all of this, as these prices are likely not going to be coming down anytime soon. Will they be supplying direct assistance in the form of stimulus checks to help out at this time? I'm going to keep you up to date on all this. We're going to dive into the details and the video footage. But before we do, also wanted to mention the second channel, Steve Ram Finance. If you're interested in learning about growing wealth and personal finance, might be a good time right now with everything going on. Consider joining my second channel. I'll leave a link down below. You can click it, go subscribe, turn on notifications. More content coming on that channel as well. But let's dive right in, and let's start off by smashing that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton if you appreciate the content. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. Just hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's dive into the latest of President Joe Biden's announcements of more stimulus to come, what's going to be on the way, and what is unfolding with our economy. All right, so first up, link in the description below to this article that came out yesterday after the announcement that says low-wage earners to get high-speed internet for $30 in Biden's new program. 20 internet providers, including AT&T, Comcast, and Verizon, have agreed to provide high-speed services at a steep discount to low-income consumers, the White House announced on Monday yesterday, significantly expanding broadband access for millions of Americans. Now, the plan, a feature of a $1 trillion infrastructure package passed by Congress last year, would cost qualifying households no more than $30 per month. Now, the discount plus existing federal internet subsidies means that the government will cover the full cost of connectivity if consumers sign on with one of the 20 participating companies. So essentially, free broadband internet. Now, the White House estimates that the program will cover 48 million households, or 40% of the country. More than 11.5 million households have already signed up to claim government subsidies. The 100 megabit per second service is fast enough for a family to work from home, complete schoolwork, browse the internet, and stream high-definition movies and TV shows, the White House has said. High-speed internet is not a luxury anymore, it's a necessity, the president said in his announcement yesterday at the White House Rose Garden. Now, households can qualify for the subsidy called the Affordable Connectivity Program if their income is at or below 200% of the federal poverty guidelines. A member of the household participates in certain federal anti-poverty initiatives, including the following: Medicaid, SNAP, federal housing assistance, Pell Grant tuition assistance, or free or reduced price school meals. Or if the household already qualifies for an internet provider's low-income service program, then you can participate in this. Now, consumers can check whether they qualify for discounted services at getinternet.gov. I'm going to be sharing with you the website here in just a second, or you can call 877-384-2575. And here it is on the official White House page. Get internet. Learn how the President Joe Biden is reducing the cost of high-speed internet and find out how you can qualify and sign up. And here's how you sign up. It's got all the details for you. I will pin a link down below in the description. You can go check it out. It gives you all the details, and here you can see all the providers, including, as they mentioned, AT&T, Verizon, Frontier, a lot of the popular ones. All the information in the link in the description down below. So a lot of announcements coming out yesterday, and we're going to be seeing what more are to follow, as we're hearing that they're trying to get $10 billion of assistance for therapeutics and vaccines. They're trying to send out more stimulus provisions for small businesses, maybe get gas stimulus checks, child tax credits, an assortment of different things. Take a look, you guys. Yesterday, Biden signs bill to expedite military aid to Ukraine. So also trying to help out with the war that's happening in Russia and Ukraine, which we're hearing is likely going to be going on for much more time here. I'm going to be sharing with you a video clip in just a second. But this article says President Biden on Monday signed legislation that will make it easier for the U.S. to send military equipment to Ukraine as the Eastern European country battles its ongoing Russian invasion. Biden signed the bill in the Oval Office at a ceremony with Vice President Kamala Harris and members of Congress. The bill, formerly known as the Ukraine Democracy Defense Lend-Lease Act of 2022, passed Congress with bipartisan support last month. Biden affirmed U.S. support for Ukraine in their fight to defend their country and their democracy against Russian President Vladimir Putin's brutal war. Every day, Ukrainians pay with their lives, Biden said. The cost of the fight is not cheap, but caving to the aggression is even more costly. That's why we're staying in this. So that passed yesterday. However, we're hearing that there's concerns that Putin has no way out of this. And we're hearing that yesterday during their Victory War March, they said that they are planning for an even lengthier war, which means that the effects of this will likely take place significantly longer than was anticipated. Take a look at this video footage.
Russia. Failures on the battlefield in Ukraine don't stop Moscow from flaunting its military might, as we've been talking about the annual Victory Day parade. The parade commemorates the Soviet victory over Nazi Germany, and it just wrapped up in Moscow's Red Square. The celebration is taking on a new meaning this year as Vladimir Putin frames his invasion of Ukraine as a means to defeat a new wave of Nazism. And we'll put that in quotes. The New York Times described the event as a claim of rightful dominance over a lost empire, a day to galvanize public support for the war by slandering Ukraine as a successor to Nazi Germany. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky joined Western Europe yesterday to mark Victory in Europe Day. He also marked Victory Day today, saying in part, very soon there will be 2 Victory Days in Ukraine, and someone won't have any. We won then, and we will win now. NBC News senior international correspondent Keir Simmons is in Moscow this morning. We should note Russia is cracking down on journalists there, limiting what reporters can say under the threat of imprisonment. He filed this report.
Good morning. It was a defiant speech from President Putin here in Red Square. He railed against the West, accused NATO of funneling modern military equipment into Ukraine. He did also say the loss of each soldier is a tragedy for all of us, and we will do everything to help the families. But one military unit marching by here in Red Square chanted for Donbass. President Putin saying one of the units here had come straight from the fighting in Donbass. Every one of those marching will have colleagues in Ukraine here. This is Victory Day, a patriotic day across Russia and here in Red Square. One man telling us here that he is certain that Russia will be victorious in Ukraine. A woman saying, just like in 1945 we won, we will win again. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Keir. Richard Haas, fascinating. What you take from what we didn't hear today? Also, the Times report last week that Putin is holding back on some of his more deadly, more destructive tools that he could be using right now. I'm wondering whether you may believe that Putin is a bit more rational than we first expected, or that everybody's saying he was irrational, and whether he just finds himself a man who thought he was going to get away with something that the West finally, after 20 years, decided to stop.
Well, two things, Joe. First, I thought today's speech was dispirited. It was almost as if he mailed it in. It was short, nothing new, it was flat. He had nothing new to add. And once again, he repeated the line basically of Russia as victim. This was something they had to do. It was almost once again to absolve himself of responsibility. This was in fact a war of choice. What I took from it on the policy side is essentially he's now simply hunkering down for a long slog. That this next phase of the war is going to involve the massing of a large number of troops. There's not going to be a single decisive battle this week or next week. But this is the new normal. And so he wasn't promising anything new, no new expectations, just essentially getting ready for this long battle, this siege, if you will, to come. But essentially the tank was empty there.
Hey, Richard, how does he do that? I mean, first of all, we hear that they may be running very short on guided munitions, that obviously the economic sanctions, while not crippling them now, certainly puts them in a position they don't want to be in. They obviously have their closest ally, China, who will likely grow more impatient over time. How does he drag this war out into a war of attrition over a year or two with all the economic sanctions and political sanctions attached?
Look, he's got to be a little bit disappointed, Joe, with China's help or lack of it. The Chinese are clearly being careful so they don't get caught up in the web of sanctions. He's still got time on the sanctions that exist. The energy sanctions that are just been announced will take a while to kick in. They still don't affect gas. He's still going to be getting hundreds and hundreds of $1 million a day. But I think this question of how long they can sustain an intense military encounter is a legitimate question. So one possibility is it's not that intense, that this simply becomes a long siege. For Putin right now, it's the reason he won't sign a peace agreement. He has to avoid anything that punctuate his losing. He doesn't have to win. He just has to not lose. And losing would mean two things: a massive military rout or an agreement he feels compelled to sign that would essentially acknowledge that he hasn't won. So my guess is he's almost reversed things, almost like the guerrilla. In the guerrilla war, he is going to try to win by not losing. This just suggests to me a long, low-keyed strategy.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Now, this is not only impacting Russia and Ukraine, but the entire world, as gas prices are going up, which is causing the cost of goods that need to be transported to go up. So we're seeing food prices increase. And right now, the United States is at a 40-year high for inflation, and this is just exasperating the situation. We're going to be seeing how they're going to be responding to all this. Now, whatever unfolds here on the channel, I will make sure that you know, and I will keep you up to date so you know what's happening. And as I mentioned to you today, President Joe Biden is going to be having another speech, another announcement about how they're going to be addressing inflation, which is hitting pretty hard right now. So I will keep you up to date. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, totally free, why not come join the Ram fam? All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell to be notified right away on updates. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance. And with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.